Konnichiwa, everyone. I hope your day is going well. I'll tell you about the story of the memory maze of Mayhem. Let's get started. It was one of those afternoons when Nobita was deep in thought, though this time it wasn't about homework or sports. He was sitting on his couch, staring at the ceiling with a confused frown on his face. Doraemon, he called out. I think something's wrong with me. Doraemon, who was in the middle of cleaning his gadgets, popped his head out of his pocket and blinked in confusion. What now, Nobita? Did you lose your pencil again? Nobita dramatically waved his arms. No, it's worse. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what. It's like there's a hole in my brain, and I can't figure out what's supposed to go there. Doraemon scratched his head. That's kind of weird, but we can figure this out. Maybe it's a memory thing. Have you tried thinking harder? I've been thinking for hours, but it's just like a fog. I can't even remember what I was thinking about. It's so frustrating, Nobita exclaimed. Well, we'll just have to jog your memory then, Doraemon said, pulling out a shiny blue device from his pocket. This is the Memory Maze Maker, a gadget that will help you track down lost memories and put them back in the right place. Nobita's eyes lit up. Whoa! So you mean I could literally go inside my own mind and find the missing memory? Doraemon nodded confidently. Exactly. It'll be an adventure, but one you can't mess up. Before Nobita could get too excited, Doraemon tapped a button on the Memory Maze Maker, and suddenly the world around them began to warp. The ceiling melted into a swirling vortex of colors, and the floor transformed into a giant maze. Nobita and Doraemon were sucked into the chaotic, twisting maze, where everything was upside down and spinning at impossible angles. Whoa, what is this place? Nobita yelled, clutching onto Doraemon's ears to avoid being thrown into the sky. This is your mind, Nobita, Doraemon called out, struggling to stay upright. The memory maze. All your thoughts and memories are floating around here like a giant playground. Nobita looked around, dazed. The sky was a kaleidoscope of colors, and floating islands popped in and out of existence, each one filled with bizarre versions of himself and his friends. There was a floating island shaped like a hamburger, and on it, a memory of Shizuka was riding a roller coaster made of spaghetti. On another island, John was eating an entire cake while singing opera, surrounded by pink bunnies playing jazz music. This is nuts, Nobita shouted. How do we even find my missing memory in all of this mess? Just then a wild explosion echoed through the maze, and a giant inflatable version of Sunio's head appeared in the sky. Hey, Nobita, bet you can't catch me? Sunio's voice boomed, followed by a laugh that echoed through the maze. Grr, I will catch you, Sunio, Nobita yelled, chasing after the inflatable head. But as he ran, the ground kept turning into slippery jelly. He slipped and slid right into a giant puddle of rainbow-colored goo. Whoa, that's gross, Nobita groaned, wiping the goo off his face. Why is everything so weird in here? Because your mind is chaotic, though, Nobita. It's a mess of your thoughts, memories, and desires all mixed together, Doraemon shouted, floating above him on a flying taco. But we need to find your lost memory. It's somewhere in here, and we're going to have to follow the clues. Nobita squinted. What kind of clues? Doraemon pulled out a huge glowing map. It was completely blank except for a giant red X at the center of the maze. I'm guessing we'll find the missing memory somewhere near the center of this madness. Suddenly the maze began to shake, and a massive wave of custard began to rise up around them. The entire area turned into a giant pool of custard that flooded toward them. Oh no, not again! Nobita screamed as he desperately swam through the gooey mess, trying to stay afloat. Meanwhile, a loud meow echoed across the maze, and a giant cat with wings, looking suspiciously like Doraemon, only with a mohawk, zoomed past, knocking Nobita into a floating island shaped like a giant sandwich. What the Doraemon? Is that you? Nobita yelled. That's my evil twin, Doraemon shouted from behind, where a version of him was riding a giant flying fish. He's causing chaos in your mind, but we have to ignore him for now and focus on the memory. The floating sandwich suddenly started to explode, sending pieces of lettuce and tomato flying everywhere, and a whole group of little Nobitas started throwing pies at each other in the background. Amidst the chaos, Nobita spotted a door at the center of the sandwich island with the words Memory X glowing above it. "That's it! I found the memory!" Nobita shouted. "Wait, don't just go charging in there," Doraemon warned. "This place is filled with traps." But it was too late. Nobita ran straight for the door, and the moment he touched the handle, everything around him turned into an enormous game of pinball. Nobita was launched into the air, bouncing off gigantic memory marbles, each one representing a different moment from his life. He bounced off memories of his mom yelling at him, his first time riding a bike, and that time he tried to catch a fish with his bare hands, and failed miserably. Eventually, Nobita landed with a huge thud into a massive pile of confetti. Doraemon landed beside him, holding his head. "That was insane," Doraemon said, his voice still dizzy. "But I think we're here." In front of them stood the final door, and when Nobita opened it, a glowing orb appeared. Inside the orb, he saw a strange, glowing figure. The figure was familiar. It was him, but older and wiser, standing confidently with a big smile. "That's your memory, Nobita," Doraemon said, smiling. "The one you were missing was the belief in yourself. You forgot how to believe in your own potential." Nobita stared at the glowing figure of his future self. "Wow, I never realized how much I needed that." And just as quickly as the craziness started, everything snapped back to normal. They were back in the living room with the world calm again. Nobita grinned. "That was nuts, but at least now I remember. I can do anything." Doraemon chuckled. "Well, maybe you won't be chasing flying tacos next time." "I'm pretty sure that's a great idea," Nobita replied, still bouncing around in excitement. "I think I could get used to this." And with that, the two of them sat down on the couch, ready for the next wild adventure, though they were both secretly hoping for something a little less chaotic next time. Did you enjoy this chaotic adventure? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Doraemon short stories. You are kind. Thank you for your support. Sayonara.